You can start to slow down your breath. And let your attention drop down to the base of your pose. Feel where your feet touch the floor, where your body touches the chair. And from that grounded base, lengthen up through your spine so you can grow a little taller, as if the top of the head were floating up towards the ceiling. Without losing any of this height, just take a scan through your body and see, is there anything to release? Could you sit here just as tall with a little less effort? Relaxing your face, letting your shoulders drop. And anytime you notice that your mind has wandered onto other things, just as soon as you notice, see if you can come back and feel this breath. Your breath is always happening right now, so it's a good anchor for our attention. Inhaling deeply, exhaling fully. Notice what you feel in your body. Even if it's a very simple or familiar shape, like just sitting here now. What are you noticing? You can let your eyes open, keeping a soft focus, and feel free to open and close your eyes as it's useful for you. Keeping breath nice and deep. Let's turn the head as far as we can one way, looking over your shoulder. Still keep the shoulders square to the front, but turning your neck. Go the other way as far as you can, looking over the opposite shoulder as far back as you're able. And then back to neutral. Now let's drop one ear over to one shoulder. We'll press down through both shoulders, but look for a stretch on one side of the neck. You might even reach your fingertips down towards the floor to increase that stretch. Let's rotate chin to chest and come over to the other side. Both shoulders drop now a little bit more through the other side. Let's rotate chin to chest. Come back to the first side and then go back and forth a few times. Half circles or 3/4 circles. Watching the sensation move from one side to the other. Next time your chin is to your chest, stay there. Interlace your fingers behind your head and let your elbows hang down, stretching the back of your neck. Let's release the arms down. Lift the shoulders up. And then roll them back and down. We'll do this a few times. Up and back and down. Up and back and down. One more. Good. Now take your right arm up. We'll bend it straight back on itself. So you're touching the same shoulder. Grab your elbow and then take it back as far as you can. As you do this, notice if your rib cage starts to jut out. See if you can draw the rib cage down. So still a nice tall spine, equal length on front and back, right and left. And then release, right arm up, open it out, take it across, and then hook with the other arm, hugging it in as close as you can. As you do this, draw back through your right shoulder. So you're still square across the chest, still sitting tall. And then release, arm out, rotate your thumb to point down. We're gonna wrap it around behind the back. So back of your hand is at your waist, interlace fingers at your waist and pull your knuckles around towards the front as far as you can. Elbows go towards one another just as much as you're able, and then circle your right shoulder. So this may be creaky, it may be tight. We're purposefully seeking out things that are creaky and tight. We wanna find the limits. So we can keep the mobility we have, maybe gently increase it. Keeping fingers interlaced, reach both arms back. And here we can fold forward. So it may be just dropping your head, or if you like, you could fold all the way over, letting your head drop. Maybe even reaching your arms up and back away from your back. And you're just working with your body. You don't need to have mobility you don't have, or look away you don't, or feel differently than you do. So just exploring your limits, whatever they are right now. Let's release, come up, and again, a few shoulder circles. Let's take the left arm up now. Bend it straight back on itself. Grab your elbow and take it back as far as you can. Drop the ribs, draw the belly in. So your hand is pulling your elbow, and then the connection at the shoulder is being dropped down by the ribs dropping. And then release, arm up, open it out, take it across, hook with the other arm, hug it in close. As you do this, draw back through your shoulder. You're still square across the chest, still sitting tall. And then release, arm out, thumb points down, wrap it around. This time when you go to interlace your fingers, try the other thumb on top, the way you don't normally cross. Knuckles come towards the front, elbows come towards one another, and then circle the left shoulder. Keeping fingers interlaced, reach both arms back, open up the chest, and then fold any amount, whatever works for you. Exploring what your limits are. Breathing here. Let's release, come up. And again, a few shoulder circles. Okay, let's interlace fingers in front, and we'll put a little pressure between the arms like you're going to pull them apart. That can spread the upper back, getting between the shoulder blades. Might move around a little to find the best stretch here. And then release, arms out. Point the fingers up, flexing your palms strongly and pressing out through the base of the hand. You might even feel a little tingling in your forearms as you do this. Really pull the fingers back as much as you're able. And then curl from fingertips down, pull the knuckles in as much as you can. Flex again, fingers up, and then curl, fingers down. Keep reaching long and then circle your wrists. A couple times one way, a couple times the other way. Feeling all those little muscles of the forearms flexing and stretching. And then release down. Let's take a twist. So you can bring your right hand to the outside of your left knee and then reach your left hand around for the chair behind you, wherever you can reach. Inhale, sit tall. Exhale, rotate, looking back over your shoulders. So knees are still pointing straight ahead, just from the waist upward, twisting deeply. One more breath here. And then release, unwind, and switch. Going the other way, lengthen. Rotate, looking back. Last breath here. And then release, back around to the front. All right, let's take a hip stretch. So we're going to cross the right ankle above the left knee, sit tall, and then fold forward whatever amount you're able, going towards a flat back. So it's okay if your back is rounded. Just keep going towards length and towards folding. Hopefully you feel this in the right outer hip. The more you lengthen, the more you fold, the deeper it may be. And relax your face, even as you might be feeling intensity. And the breath be slow and steady. And then go ahead and sit upright, extend that right leg out, flex and point your foot a few times. Circle your ankle a couple times one way, a couple times the other way. And then let's switch. Cross the left ankle above the right knee, lengthen and fold forward. Let's sit back up, extend the left leg out, flex and point. Circle a couple times one way, a couple times the other way. Okay, let's stand up. You may need to move your chair and we're gonna take a down dog. So you can have your hands either on the seat of the chair or the top of the chair and pull the hips back. So it's just like down dog, but with a little less pressure on the hamstrings, no pressure on the wrists, and heels can be firmly on the floor. So just like you would in down dog, pull the hips away from the hands, outwardly rotate the upper arms to create space in the shoulders. And breathe deeply. And then release. Let's come up. We're going to bring our hands to the back of the chair. Lift the heels slowly up and then slowly down. So we'll do this several times. This is good for working balance, good for strengthening calves. If you want a challenge, you can try not using the chair or just barely using the chair. And if you want a big challenge, you can lift one leg at a time. So just having one foot on the floor at a time and lifting up. So for a really big challenge doing that without using the chair, and see how slow you can go. Can you really control the up and down? So let's take one more each side, or two more on both feet. And then release. Okay, keeping legs in line with one another, we're gonna lift one leg up and down. So try not to let your knee come forward. Keep your knee in line with the other one. Just a hamstring curl, up and down. We'll do three more. Up and down. Again, really slow. Up and down. One more. Up and down. Okay, 5 on the other side. Knees in line with one another. Up and down. Up and down. Up and down. Let's do 2 more. Last one. Good. You may want to take another hamstring stretch, down dog. Again, hands can be on the top of the chair or the bottom of the chair. You get to choose. Pulling the hips back, stretching out the hamstrings again. Let's come back up. So we're going to do a quad stretch balance. If you're able, bring one leg back, take hold of that foot, and you can try this without using the chair. The chair is there if you need it. For some bodies, this isn't great for the knee. If that's true for you, you could take a different balance. You could do tree instead. And again, use the chair or not. With the leg that's back, notice if your hips are tipping back. That's a clever way of avoiding the stretch, but we want to get right in there. So instead of that, lift the belly, drop through the tail. Think about yawning open through the front of the hip. And you can play around with not using your hand on the chair. Can your breath be steady even as you're concentrating on balancing? And then release that side, shake that out. Same thing, other side. So whatever you did on the first side, that again, either quad stretch or tree, with or without the use of the chair. Tail dropping, belly lifting, so the lower back is nice and long, the front of the hip is opening. And then release, shake that out. All right, let's come back to sitting. And this time you can sit all the way back on the chair. So your back is against the back and a little bit more relaxed. We're going to do a little self-facial massage. So if you have glasses or something on your face, you can take that off. We'll begin with rubbing the palms together, just getting a little heat and energy in the hands, and then place the palms over the eyes, sealing out the light and encouraging your eyes to not only close, but really relax. Keeping eyes closed and relaxed. You can bring your fingertips to the center of the forehead and rub from the center of the forehead towards the temples, and then keep coming back to the center and spreading towards the sides of the face. You can use either fingertips or thumbs. Good firm pressure. If you find a tender spot, you might hold it with steady pressure or little circles. And then bring your fingertips to either side of the nose, pressing into the sinus area, pressing and spreading towards the sides of the face. And working your way along your cheekbone and following it until you get to where your jaw connects to your skull, that hinged joint just under your ear. It can be very tender all around there. Strong jaw muscle, little pressure points under your ear, around your jawline, just exploring. You might even give your earlobes a squeeze or pull. And then working your way along your jawline towards your chin. Give the chin a little pinch or press. And then take the heels of the hands and make a couple big circles into the cheeks, massaging the cheeks into the cheekbones and teeth. And then you can go back over any area that needed extra work. You could also give your scalp a rub, like a dry shampoo. And smooth over the face as if you just washed your face and you're wiping away the water, wiping away any last bit of tension. You can shake it out of your hands. You may want to give your forearms and hands a little rub before finishing. And just take a few moments in stillness. So letting your arms be relaxed in your lap or by your sides. Let your back rest against the chair. Eyes closed. And just scan through your body and see, is there anything else to let go of? And just a couple moments of not doing anything, nothing to accomplish, nothing to move towards or away from. You can slowly begin to wiggle your fingers and toes, just bringing a little movement back in. Maybe move your wrists and ankles. Take a big stretch out through your arms and legs. And scoot yourself back to the front of the chair so feet are flat. We'll bring hands together at the heart, sitting tall. Namaste.